And we're on.
We're on. And welcome again.
Good morning.
Chef Carlo. Welcome.
And Andrew here. Thank you very much.
And this is Talking Food with Chef Carlo, our weekly series.
And Andrew.
Yeah, it says, but the title is Talking Food with Chef Carlo.
Yeah, but if you were not here, it'd just be me, myself, and I doing a monologue here. And I'll be like completely lost because, I mean, I can talk. Too bad there's no wine. We have coffee, but...
We should actually plan a show on wine and bring in wines. And by the end of the show, it'll be just amusement park.
Then I have to go teach class.
Oh, that's no fun.
No, that's going to be interesting.
I'll just go home and take a nap.
Well, home is far.
Yeah.
Probably I'm going to crash on your couch.
There you go. You can just sit in my office. But this is Talking Food with Chef Carlo, and last week we did Valentine's Day. That's today's Valentine's Day. We talked about Valentine's Day.
It was Valentine's Day. I hate Valentine's Day, but have Valentine's Day. Today is still Valentine's Day for whoever you guys feel guilty that you haven't bought anything for your other half, or you haven't spent your paycheck. Don't feel guilty. It's a Hallmark holiday. It's not a holiday because they're still at work. Well, have fun. So
Today.
Today.
Oh, well, yeah, go cook.
Valentine's Day
Watch
should
last
be every
week's
day.
episode. Figure out what you want to make.
Actually,
for your
if you're still in the jam and you want to make something, today you still have time to make this dish. Today we're going to talk about ceviche and poke. Why are we talking about ceviche and poke?
Because, as you mentioned right before, it's winter time. There's not a lot of fresh produce, but there's always fish.
And ceviche is something that you can make rather quickly. It takes about half an hour to an hour for all the fish to be ready, but we're going to talk more about this. So like Andrew said, it's winter. Well, here in the South, we don't go prancing through the snow. We go prancing through the leaves because we only have leaves.
And it didn't feel like winter on Sunday, that's for sure.
Oh no, Sunday I was at the park, blanket laying on the grass, and I was just sunbathing and taking a nap after a long, hard-working weekend.
Yes, it was. I washed the cars. It did. Flip-flops and shorts, man.
Oh, you're actually working.
Well, it's kind of working. You know, put your headphones in and just. You know,
oh no, I was working. I was working, mixing drinks, serving beers. I was working. So Sunday, day off, on the sun. It was delicious. But let's talk about ceviche. Why? Because, again, it's winter. There is not a lot of fresh produce out there. There is not great zucchinis or the usual produce. But ceviche. What is ceviche, Andrew? What do you know about ceviche?
Well, in putting the show together, I learned that ceviche is a South American dish.
It's not cheating because you were reading before you put the show together. Right,
and we actually have the definition of ceviche. There it is. South American dish of marinated raw fish or seafood, typically garnished and served as an appetizer.
Yes, it could be used as an appetizer. It could be used as an entree. And ceviche, it's really neat. Ceviche, actually, people think ceviche is something new. The Incas, they were marinating fish. We're talking about 2,000 years ago. They were using chicha, which is fermented corn, to preserve the fish. It started as a method of preserving fish, and especially to be brought back into inland. And they started about 2,000 years ago. Now, ceviche took a revolution or a massive change when the conquistadors came into the area, the colonial times, and then brought in citrus fruit, especially bitter orange and limes. And we need to have the most important thing about preserving, because ceviche is a quick preserved dish. The way it works is the acids present in the citrus juice will denaturate the protein. It's not going to cook it per se, but it's going to take those coils of protein and loosen them up. It's going to give you the appearance of a cooked fish, but it's not really cooked. It's still raw. So first of all, if you have a low immune system, you need to be careful when you eat ceviche because it's still going to be raw fish. Some people that you might get sick, don't feed it to babies, although if you go to Peru,
they feed it to their children all the time.
The baby is there with the baby bottle and taking a hit of the ceviche on the side. So, okay, so we gave the disclaimer, as we need to do.
We did. We did. Or if you're just have an aversion to raw fish. But, just like everything else, try it. Try it once.
Try it. And so the way it developed back in the conquistadors' time, they were using lime juice and bitter orange juice, which has a higher acidity than just the regular sweet juice, to preserve the fish. The fish is cut into any shape you want. The most common shape is almost cut at sushi length. That way, in about half an hour, your ceviche is marinated. Basically cooked. Again, cooked is because the acid in the ceviche is going to denature the protein. Now, when you go down to Peru, ceviche takes many shapes and forms depending where you are in the region. Now, ceviche is consumed all over South America. Now we have it here in the States. You can find lovely ceviche places popping here and there all over town. And the way the Peruvians do it, the most typical way is in Lima, is the most popular fish that they use there is sole. They call it lenguado. It's marinated in lime juice, and they add red onions into the marination. They let it marinate for about half an hour to 45 minutes. Now, the less you let the fish marinate, the more of a raw bite it's going to have. I like mine basically just run it through the lemon and give it to me, almost like sashimi.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
Almost like sashimi.
Right.
I'm like, okay, 2 minutes, it's done. But you're going to see that as you marinate the protein, it's going to go from the fish, as you cut the sole, it's going to be translucent. Once it marinates, it's going to change to an opaque white. And it has a lovely flavor, and don't be afraid that it's being marinated in lime juice. Once the lime juice marinates with the fish, it actually mellows down the acidity. And the way it's served in Peru, they serve it with a sweet potato, and they serve it with canchas. Mm-hmm. Canchas is I don't want to say popcorn, but you know what? What's a shame? We only use one kind of corn here in the States. It's the yellow corn. Right. There is about 1,000 varieties of corn. And the corn that they usually consume in Peru, each kernel is about the size of a nickel.
Okay. That's a big corn.
Yes, it is. It is a big corn. And it's sad because corn could be purple. There's purple corn, red corn, rainbow corn. There's all kind of color corn, but here you only consume one kind. So the way it's done is the corn kernels, they are fried, they're sauteed in oil until they semi-puff. It's not gonna pop completely because it's not that kind of corn that will pop, but it will get toasted on the outside and kind of puff in the center. Right. And it's served in a nice plate. You serve your ceviche, and you serve with lots of red onions on top of it. Oh, look.
There's your red onions.
Those are your red onions. And the red pepper that you see in there is called rocoto. It's a really spicy pepper. Oh, nice. Also, it goes back, a lot of people ask me, why do they put so much spices in the fish? It's because also the heat, the capsaicin oil serve also. It used to be used as a preservative. When you have foods that are high in spiciness, bacteria doesn't grow as fast in there. Right. So it's also one of the reasons why they're highly spiced up. Now in Peru, wherever the area you come, they will use a different kind of hot pepper. Okay. In Lima, they use the rocoto, which is the most popular one, and this is a sole ceviche. It has your big cancha. This one has not been toasted. It's just the corn that has been boiled or steamed, and then served with your ceviche and your sweet potato. And the combination is really nice because you have the sweetness of the sweet potato and the acidity of the ceviche. You eat them all together, and you're in heaven. Yeah,
it sounds like it's a wonderful mouthful of flavors and spices, and like your tongue is tickled the whole time.
I'm already hungry. And the beautiful thing is, you can have ceviche year round, but most likely I like to make ceviche now that there's not much happening at the supermarket. Right. And you can always find a fish. Now, one of the tricks about the ceviche, the fish has to be the absolutely freshest, just like when you make sushi.
Right. Yeah, don't use that the old stuff that's been sitting around the refrigerator and think
No,
you're going to serve
no.
ceviche. That's not
Also,
gonna happen.
very important, when you buy your fish, I'm not a big fan of supermarket fish that is sitting on the counter. I have had bad experiences and I have had decent experiences, but I rather buy the frozen fish at the frozen section. They have tuna, they have sole, they have all these frozen fish. If you don't have a fish market in town that they can show you the salmon, that they can show you the sole, you can smell it, I will not go for it.
Right.
The fish is super delicate, and it happened to me in a supermarket. I'm not going to mention the brand, but it's a very popular supermarket in Six Forks, and I bought Dungeon crab, and I was in a rush. I needed to come to school. They put it in a bag. When I came here, I opened the bag, and you get that ammonia smell.
Oh, yeah,
That it's
bad.
been like, really? I went to the most expensive, supermarket
Right.
in the area, and the crab was, when you get that ammonia smell, it's been sitting there for way too long. Now, how do we make ceviche? There's a couple of recipes that we're going to post on the website, but here's a recipe. It's very simple. Take your fish, whatever you want.
So it doesn't matter what, is it better with a lighter fish such as a cod or a flounder, or with a fatty fish like a tuna? Or
you can do ceviche with fatty fish.
Right.
I feel like it's better with the lean fish.
Gotcha.
My best ceviches that I've made have been with sole, snapper, halibut, and cod, and scallops.
Okay.
Scallops are really lean. Yes, you can make ceviche with salmon, but there's something about, I consider myself as my personal opinion, ceviche made with salmon, there's something of the fattiness of the fish that it doesn't cut it through. I cannot pinpoint it.
Right.
But you can make ceviche with any kind of fish. But the best that I've made is scallops, sole, turbot, also if you can find turbo. Turbo is huge sole. It comes from the north, Canada, northern seas. If you're gonna use tuna, I will use albacore.
Okay.
Or yellowfin tuna, because the meat is a little bit wider. It's more leaner. So I've figured that lean fish will work pretty well. A very simple recipe for ceviche. Take your white fish. Let's call it white fish.
White fish. That works. Yeah. Lean fish.
White lean fish.
Right.
My favorite, red onions. Little bit of garlic. When I mean a little bit, it's not like, oh, let's put a half a cup of garlic in there, because then it's going to be a garlic marinade.
Unless you're just a huge fan of garlic and plan on smelling like garlic for the rest of the 24 hours and it comes out of your pores.
But it's Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
And this is also a dish that you can make tonight. It's very simple. You can run right now to the supermarket, get some lime juice, and do not use the lime juice that comes already in the little lime bottle.
Yeah, it looks like the little juice things you get at amusement parks.
Yes.
You know, it's little plastic. Yeah, buy some fresh limes.
Buy some fresh. It's not fresh. It tastes
It's the same
completely
price.
different. It's the same price. Yes, there's going to be a little bit more work on juicing the limes, but trust me, the flavor is going to be completely different. There is some great flavor in just fresh squeezed lime juice. Same when you put it on the vodka and a little bit of ginger beer and make yourself a Moscow Mule.
Yep.
When it's fresh lime juice,
It makes it all the difference in the world.
that was my Christmas drink.
Was it? Oh, yeah, you told me.
It was fantastic.
Moscow Mule.
Moscow Mule, didn't have to drive anywhere. It was fantastic. So take your lean fish, cover it with your lime juice, salt, pepper. Bake. I like the sweet potatoes when they're baked because they develop more of the sugars in the baked potato. You can boil it too. In this one that we have there, the sweet potato was boiled, but I like mine roasted. I think it develops a better flavor. And let it marinate for half an hour, and just check the fish. If the fish is already not translucent, your fish is ready.
Now, Chef, when you're putting the ingredients in, you're putting lime juice, does the lime juice need to cover the fish all the way, or can you put it in like a container, mix it around a little bit, and just let it sit?
No.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Drew.
Yeah.
It has to completely cover the fish. And please, when you do this, use a non-reactive container, aka plastic, glass, or stainless steel. Don't use copper.
Yeah, acid in copper, acid in aluminum.
Aluminum,
yeah.
don't use aluminum, don't use copper, but use either stainless steel.
I mean, come on, you're making ceviche. Whip out the good stuff. Whip out the nice glass bowl.
That's fine. The glass bowl actually looks really cool. You can serve it in a leaf of lettuce. I like mine, and I know this is non-traditional. I serve it also with a slice of nice French bread because I like to soak out the juice.
Nice.
And the juice after the most of the marination liquid, they put it there in shot glasses.
Really?
And you can drink it.
Huh.
It's called leche de tigre. It's called tiger's milk.
Tiger's milk.
and whenever they make ceviche, you can ask for tiger's milk. They will give you a shot of the marination liquid for you to have a little drink.
Huh.
So cover your fish. Oh, of course, you gotta add some spice. You gotta add some spice.
I'm just laughing. It's just, I'm sorry. Go ahead, please.
Tell me.
No. I'm just thinking of a shot glass of the marinade that you've just put your ceviche in.
It's really good.
What does that match up with? A vodka? Is that a good bourbon? You know.
If you really want to mix that with some kind of alcoholic product, I will go with vodka.
I would too.
Actually, if you really want to mix it, I would put some Covington vodka, which is sweet potato vodka, which will go fantastic with the leche de tigre, and make it a cocktail.
There you go. Hey, there you go.
Now, when I mean a shot glass, it's a shot glass of the liquid. No, but now you have given me a new.
Yeah. Well, I'm just thinking that if I was eating ceviche at a restaurant and I had friends such as yourself who asked, can we get the leche de tigre? I think I'll be like, and a shot of vodka to go along with that, and I think I would chase it.
That's a fantastic chaser. Shot of vodka and chase it with the leche de tigre.
There you go.
Hey, they do sangrita for tequila.
Sure.
Sangrita is the seasoned tomato juice that when you do the cheap tequila, you shut down the tomato juice and call it sangrita. It's like little blood. I know that's a little bit like weird, but that's how they call it.
That works.
That works. Spice for your ceviche, you can go jalapeno, you can go red chili flakes, you can go habanero peppers. Be careful how much heat you're going to add in there, but I believe that ceviche has to have a little bit of heat somehow. Jalapenos, actually, you can open them, seed them. When you seed and devein the jalapeno, you're taking away all the seeds and the veins. That's where the capsicum oils are mostly stored. That will make it for a mellow ceviche. Or you can just cut it and
have a good time.
have a good time.
If that's your thing, go for it.
Good, that's the thing, go for it. Have a good time. Have a good time.
You want to stick that ghost pepper on your ceviche? Sure.
I like to be able to walk the next day.
Right.
Because it's going to be really hot on the way in and really hot on the way out. So no, thank you. No,
very true.
No ghost pepper for me. Thank you very much. Although you can use the ghost pepper, but add a very small amount of ghost pepper. Ghost pepper is one of the hottest peppers in the world. Comes from the island of Trinidad and Tobago, and now it's widely available everywhere. You can go to Lowe's Home Improvement.
Yep.
You can find the seeds for the ghost pepper, already the little plants.
There are many people in Trinidad and Tobago who are very rich now.
Yes, and you want spicy? In Trinidad and Tobago, they can do some massive ghost peppers. So, Peruvian ceviche, and let it marinate. Serve it with a nice roasted sweet potato and corn. If you cannot find the big corn, just regular yellow corn will do, and that's the traditional ceviche, and you're going to look like a champ.
So it's a Peruvian ceviche, and I know that you and I talked about the classic ceviche too.
Yeah, this is Peruvian ceviche.
Okay.
This is what is called a classic.
Right.
Now, if you talk to somebody from Mexico or Ecuador, no, we have the original ceviche.
Oh, here we go.
Here we go.
It's like the tequila wars.
It's like tequila wars, or it's like, okay, listen. Yeah, Central America, the coastal areas, they all developed their own kind of ceviche. The Peruvians are the ones that actually, since the conquistadors settled first in Peru, they brought a lot of lime in there, and then it spread all over the place. Now, Mexicans also, they make ceviche. Oh, wait, hold on, Peru. So wherever you go in Peru, you're gonna find the same base. It changes when you go to the area of Trujillo. and they make ceviche with shark. Very popular.
Ooh,
Yes.
that sounds exotic.
Yes, actually, shark is a delicious protein. It has the texture of tuna. It's a little bit grainy, but shark is excellent. Shark steak, shark kebabs. It has almost a little bit of a tougher texture than swordfish, if you ever had swordfish before. So in Trujillo, they make the ceviche with shark. And you can make ceviche also with oysters
Sure.
and clams, any kind of seafood. Of course, wherever you come from, it's like, no, the best one is Peru. No, the best one is Ecuador. No, the best one is Mexico. They're all good. I'll take them all.
Yes.
Now, in Ecuador, they also do ceviche, same preparation. The difference is they use shrimp. They're big in shrimp in Ecuador and crab. They use crab and shrimp. Yes, you can do ceviche with shrimp. Make sure you devein the back of the shrimp to take that line out there. Oh, there we go.
Oh, there's some.
That's a ceviche mixto.
Yep.
This is the typical Ecuadorian ceviche. They add peppers on this one.
Yes, I can see.
They add peppers and they have the shrimp and
Cilantro.
oh yeah, cilantro. You gotta have cilantro in Ecuadorian ceviche. And they let it marinate. And once the shrimp turns the color opaque, which it's gonna look like it's cooked, but it's not cooked. That's the beauty about this dish. It looks like it's cooked, but it's not.
You're just changing the protein so it becomes opaque.
Basically, it's softening the protein.
Right.
It's just like one time I was challenged to, oh, you cannot grill chuck steak. I'm like, yeah, you can.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, you can. Oh, but it's tough. Want to bet? Well, yours truly, I took the whole piece of chuck and I let it marinate in apple cider vinegar. So the apple cider vinegar will basically break down all the connective tissue and the protein and make it tender, and then you throw it on the grill. It's gonna have a little tang because of the acid, because of the vinegar, but I was able to grill chuck.
So when you're making your ceviche, you mentioned 20 minutes earlier on the classic or Peruvian ceviche. Is that time frame? Is that the typical amount of time to marinate your ceviche?
It's gonna change due to
Like how long is too long?
too long. I think more than 2 hours.
Okay.
And depending also how thin you cut the protein, let's say you take sole, one of my favorite fish to make ceviche, sole, and you cut it way too thin. If you leave it 2 hours in the marinade, it will start disintegrating.
Yeah.
It's mush. Then you can, what do you do with that? You toss it.
Right.
Give it to the cat. Cat will go like, ew, no. I'm not eating
No,
that."
this is mush.
So it takes a little bit of practice, but half an hour I think is a magical time.
Okay.
Now, if you cut your protein in cubes of an inch by an inch by an inch, no, you gotta let it give it some more time because you need to allow for the acid to really penetrate into the protein.
Right. And I think we had a recipe for Peruvian ceviche, and it's mentioning half-inch cuts.
Half-inch cut is
yeah.
the best cut. Half an hour, half-inch cut, you can't go wrong.
Yeah, and there it is right there. So classic ceviche.
Oh, you
the
passed
half-inch
it on a
slice.
power slider. You're so nice.
I did, and this is the recipes that we've got today. Chef Carlo sent me. They're from Food and Wine, and I believe the other one was.
Food and Wine magazine has
Yep.
online. They have excellent recipes. What I like about the Food and Wine magazine is that their recipes they tested in the kitchen, so it's proven to work.
Right.
Because see, there's a difference between me telling, oh sure, grab this, grab that, grab a little bit of fish. Some people are, no, I need to have measurements.
Right.
So that's why I was able. Because unfortunately, somebody asked me, what's the recipe for ceviche? Take some fish, take some lime juice, take some pepper. How many? I'm like, oh man.
Yeah.
I forgot that not everybody is professional trained chef.
Right.
So, okay, you know what? Let me get these recipes that I've tried them before. I have people trying them. They're fantastic.
Excellent.
So we're going to post it on the Facebook page.
Yes, we will.
Thank you very much.
No worries.
Half an inch cut cube is very nice. I like to cut mine on a diagonal, like a sushi cut.
Right.
Half an hour is your magic number. Enjoy.
Awesome.
And then, of course, Ecuadorian will have shrimp. And now let's move to Mexico,
Okay.
because they have a really interesting way to make ceviche.
Okay.
It's still marinated in some kind of acid, lime juice. But depending when you go in Mexico, it might have a tomato base.
Really?
Yes.
Interesting.
And depending how you serve it, it might be called a cocktail, but it's really a ceviche. And in some parts of Mexico, they add ketchup.
Okay.
I can hear the silence in the room.
Yeah, that was me. I was like, ketchup? Really?
Well, but think about it.
Right.
What's in ketchup?
Vinegar, which is your acid, and tomatoes, and garlic, and salt, and
Sugar.
Sugar, yeah.
Is there anything wrong with that?
No, but are you using the ketchup to...
It's a flavoring.
Okay, it's a flavoring, but you're not using it to act as the acid for the
The acid is still
fish.
going to be your lime juice.
Right.
Oh, can you use vinegar? Yeah, but the flavor is not going to be the same.
You're going to get just a mouthful of vinegar.
Now you're moving into an escabeche, which is another way to preserve fish, but you're going to let it marinate in vinegar, and then you flour it, and then you fry it.
Okay, well, that makes sense. Yeah.
That's Spanish escabeche, nothing wrong with that. So that will be the escabeche Spanish version, which is really ancient way to cure your fish. They cure with spices, bay leaf, onions, allspice, and then let it sit there, and then they flour it and they fry it. Nothing wrong with that.
So in Mexico, they're still doing the acid part of the ceviche with lime juice, and then they're adding ketchup.
Yes.
As a tomato base.
They're adding ketchup. In some areas they add ketchup. Some areas they add tomato puree.
Okay.
It depends on where you come from. Now, Mexican ceviche is going to have the addition of avocados, because there are plenty of them down there.
Right.
The Mexican ceviche is going to have the addition of avocados. It's going to have the addition of potatoes in some areas of Mexico, which you would think like, okay, the Peruvians would do that because they have so many potatoes. Actually, the Mexicans in certain regions will have potatoes in it.
Okay.
Now, Mexicans are really, really huge on ceviche mixto, which is you can add mussels, you can add oysters, you can add any kind of fish in there, which is really good. I'll take them all.
Just throw it all in one bowl.
I'll
Let's
take
have
them
a
all.
good time.
I'll take them all in one bowl. So ceviche, think of it as a canvas. You can add anything you want. The base has to be lime juice. Marinate for 30 minutes. Done. Can you add red peppers, yellow peppers, and onions? Yes, you can. There is not a set rule, although purists that come from Peru would say, no, it's only lime juice, red onions, served with a sweet potato and corn.
Right.
But we're in America.
That's right.
We can do whatever we want. We take the best of the best and we make it even better. So don't feel afraid to experiment with your ceviche. Tonight, if you want to make it for your sweetie, it's a dish that you can do like that. You can buy the frozen fish. It's already perfectly fine. Let it defrost, and actually, as you're defrosting your fish, when it's halfway defrosted, it's actually easier to slice.
Yeah, because once it gets all the way defrosted, then it's kind of it's malleable.
It's malleable.
And
yes.
you're not getting the cuts that you really want to create a nice presentation.
If you want to use frozen fish, frozen shrimp for your ceviche, you can do that too. And also the beautiful thing about it is shrimp already come deveined and peeled.
Right.
So basically, open the bag, put it into the lime juice,
Done.
and done.
add your whatever accoutrements you want to stick on top, and yeah, there you go.
And a little bit of spice. We all have red pepper flakes in your pantry. Otherwise, I always highly suggest to use some kind of fresh hot pepper. Jalapenos are widely available everywhere. I have not been to a supermarket that does not have jalapenos.
Yeah, I've never seen a jalapeno shortage. Bananas, yes. Jalapenos, no.
Bananas?
Yeah.
As in banana?
Yeah, that last snowstorm thingy they had, people were freaked out.
Hold on, snowstorm. You mean like they're gonna clean the bread aisle, the milk, and the bananas?
Yeah, they got the bananas this time too.
People get together. Let's decide. As long as was there beer?
Yes.
Good.
Yes. It was a little skimpy on the choices of beer,
But there's still beer.
But there was still beer
Okay,
and wine.
good. And wine.
That is one of the bonuses of living in the South. Is the fact that not everybody drinks
Wine?
or beer.
How do they drink?
So they drink water, sweet tea, that sort of thing.
Yeah, but when there's a hurricane, I spent 17 years in Florida. Hurricane is coming. Grab beer, grab ice.
Yeah.
What about food? We'll manage.
Grab the tequila. Let's make tequila sunrises. Let's make a hurricane.
Yeah. Make sure we have booze and ice.
Yeah.
The rest,
And
we'll manage.
I'm the same way when it comes to natural disasters coming. You know, you go to the store. Yeah, sure did. What'd you get? Beer.
Beer.
That's the most important thing. So, do you want to take a break and we'll come back and talk poke?
It's already half an hour.
It is.
Bring it on. Let's take a break.
Okay, well, we'll be right back with Talking Food.
In a world where some things are beyond legend, they will search for answers. Be prepared. Hang on to your seats. They are going where no one has gone before. Until now.
Why are you so close to me?
I don't know. Let me back up a little bit. Yo, check out our show on
No.
Big Bang Radio. No. Okay.
Hey, sports fans, we'll remind you guys to tune in every Friday at 3:30 p.m. with Sports with Lou on WNIA Big Bang Radio. Sports with Lou. We'll be breaking down all professional sport events and all your local high school sport events going around the tri-area. Don't forget, tune in every Friday, 3:30 p.m. And if we go into overtime, everybody's a winner with Sports with Lou. 3:30 p.m. WNIA Big Bang Radio. Ready, set, hey!
Weedity-wada, weedity-woo, weedity-wada-woo. Hello, my name is Stuart the Nighthawk Hawkins, and I'm a DJ here at Nash Community College's Big Bang Radio. So tune in Mondays and Thursdays from 8 to 10 for the wind down. Smooth jazz geared to help you relax from your busy day.
And we're back.
I was going to do the one.
He's counting down here in the studio. We'll put you to working as a third job for you.
As a third job?
Yeah, when you're not down there teaching students how to be culinary masters, you come down here. We'll teach you how to be a floor producer.
All right, I'll
Yeah.
take it. Hey, why don't you build me an apartment here so I don't have to leave?
Yeah,
No, that's a bad idea.
that's a really bad
Hold
idea
on.
because they may take you up on that.
Oh my God. Yeah, no, please do not build dorms here because then they will never leave. We will never leave. Okay.
So today we're talking ceviche and next.
Poke.
Yes.
So ceviche, keep it fresh. Also, one thing I forgot to say.
Oh, yeah.
Keep it cold. Keep
That's
keep
good.
one thing I completely forgot to say. Keep your ceviche cold as it marinates, aka the fridge. Don't let it sit.
It's kind of a good tip.
Yes, but it's winter. It's cool in the room. We're trying to minimize bacteria development. There is so much acid in there that I don't foresee any bacteria growing or any bacteria that was on the fish. It will die. But let's stay on the safe side. Keep it cold.
There you go. Keep your ceviche
Cold. So let it marinate in the fridge and enjoy. So today's show also we're gonna talk about poke
Poke.
or poke.
Poke. Actually, I think I saw it poke.
Well, listen, I think it's poke.
It's not poke. Though.
It's not.
No, it's
poke.
not. It's not poke. It's poke.
But I've heard people going poke. Oh my God, we're gonna have poke. It's like
Can I get a bowl of the poke?
the poke. Imagine me and the waiter and they go like
Sir, you want exactly? Can I get a poke? Yeah, there you go.
poke.
You want pork? Is that what
Poke.
you want?
Pork. Oh yeah, I'll take pork. From nose to tail, the best animal ever.
And here is
Poke.
our
Oh man, look at that. That's nice.
yeah.
Poke or paka. It's a raw fish salad.
Our poke.
Originally made popular in Hawaii. It's really nice.
Oh, there you go. Pronounced poke.
Oh, so it's poke.
Poke.
Poke. Here's a beautiful.
Oh, this is from a restaurant. That's right. I pulled this off because I couldn't find a decent Definition, and this is a honeyfish poke, which is wherever they are. I don't know, but I stole it. Sorry.
No, we borrowed it.
Yes, we're giving them. So people are now, right now, as we speak, they are Googling honeyfish poke.
Honeyfish poke, it is somewhere.
But
We'll
they're not a
find it.
sponsor, so yeah,
They're not
maybe
sponsored.
we can get them to sponsor. We get some money.
One day. What is poke? It is a fish salad. It's been a popular roadside dish in Hawaii for, I could say, about 60 years.
Okay.
Basically, the way it started is it was a cheap way to take the scraps of the fish and turn it into something beautiful. What is poke? Basically, is a raw fish salad. So if you, again, disclaimer for raw fish, we should put the disclaimer for raw fish. If you are consuming undercooked fish, or if you are pregnant or nursing, or if you have any disease, don't eat it. Otherwise, it's delicious.
Or simply just watch the evening news and any of those drugs that they're pushing on you during the commercials. If you have any of those problems right there, just don't eat the raw fish.
Yeah. The drug commercials that take this pill, you feel better. You're gonna have 75 side effects. But
Yes. And they're really bad. It's not like it's a side effect of. They're like bad.
No, it's
your
like-
elbow will turn inside out.
your ears will start bleeding,
Yes.
but you will be able to sleep.
That's right.
Back to the show. Hold on. We sidetrack easily.
did.
Hey, but I love that. We're live, baby. So it's a raw fish salad. Now, look at that. Beautiful.
That looks so yummy.
Now, this is actually a revamp poke. You have fish eggs, you have seaweed, you have your seaweed salad, you have your rice, you have. This is to show you that poke can be done with anything. So, with basically the original poke recipe.
Edamame.
Oh, edamame, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you can add edamame, you can add anything. It's a salad. It was served first as a road stand to use the cheap scraps or whatever the scraps were from the fish, dress it lightly in soy sauce and serve it on a bed of rice. That was the original poke. And they would use anything that was available to season your fish. The original poke started with tuna scraps, and that's going to be your main horse of poke. It's going to be ahi tuna, which is not cheap, but it's delicious. And the preparation is almost as close as ceviche. The trick is here, dice your fish in about a ½ inch cube, season it with any flavoring you want. My favorite poke recipe is soy sauce, toasted sesame oil, toss it, add sesame seed, serve it on a bed of sushi rice. I'm happy. I'm a happy camper. Done. Now, poke nowadays has become mainstream. It has gone through wide and range. It came. There's poke trucks, poke food trucks in California.
Yeah.
And the way they do it is as simple as cubing the fish, season it in their special sauce, serving it to you either in a cup, bed of rice, or wrap in a seaweed, just like if it was a cone. They use the seaweed, they wrap it as a cone, and they serve the poke right there. So it's almost portable.
Sounds lovely.
Oh, I can
Can
take
you
that.
eat it like a cone, like an ice cream cone? Or
Yes.
or they give you a spoon, you just kind of.
You know what? I don't know if they give you a spoon because I always taking it like that. I'm like, thank you. And I walk away and I start chewing on my seaweed that they have toasted already. So it's nice and crunchy. Whenever you use the seaweeds, always try to toast it in the oven a little bit or toast it on top of an open flame. Take your seaweed and just on an open flame, give it a couple of passes and that will really crisp out the seaweed. And it's really good.
And you can buy it. It's actually, seaweed is actually pretty prevalent when you go to a decent grocery store. Wow.
Oh, are you okay there?
Yeah, I'm okay. I was
mean-
thinking restaurant, but I meant grocery store.
Seaweed has gone so mainstream that you
find
can go
nori.
even to Wally World and they have seaweed.
Yeah, packages of seaweed.
Packages of seaweed. And not only that, seaweed, you can toast it and you can julienne it and you can add it on top of your poke as a flavoring too.
Right.
You don't want to wrap it in seaweed, just sprinkle it on top of your poke. Now, poke came from roadside little shacks that they make the poke, moving to restaurants, and there's chefs that are giving it a really nice spin to the poke. And we're gonna post a nice picture that I borrowed from the Food and Wine magazine, which teaches you how to make your basic poke bowl. Now, poke is
This one right here.
that one right there. We're gonna post it in a moment.
Yes.
And I love because the simplicity of poke, there is not one original recipe. There's a lot of people that are gonna claim that they have the original recipe, but
What is it with these people? I mean,
I
you
don't
know, you're
know.
battling down South America for the who has rights to the original ceviche. You're battling in Italy, who has rights to the original pizza.
well, just go to Philly
Yeah.
and step between Geno's and Pat's.
Yeah, who has got the best Philly cheese?
They're still screaming at each other.
Oh, absolutely. And they've been screaming at each other for what, 50 years now?
Yeah, I went down there in the summer and I had a sub in each place. They were both good, and they're still screaming at each other. You're gonna go across the street to Pat's? And like, yeah. Oh my God! Thank God I almost said that. I almost got killed by the owners there. So, yeah, look at that.
I'm sorry. Now I'm really, really hungry.
No, this is to show you how versatile poke is. You know what that is?
That's pulled pork.
It's pulled pork. So you have your beautiful ahi tuna that is being tossed in very simple soy sauce, topped with onions, scallions, served with a pico de gallo, and pulled pork.
Wow.
I mean, I can talk hours about poke, but my favorite poke also, it's ahi tuna, soy sauce, seaweed on top, sesame seeds on top of it, wrapped in a seaweed. It's almost like a seaweed cone. The other day, I didn't have sesame seeds. I made it with crushed peanuts,
Right. That works.
roasted honey, salted peanuts. So I hammered them with the little hammer that I have, the little mallet, so it can be crunchy. Because I don't like to run it through the food processor; it makes them too powdery. So I put them in a Ziploc bag, I used the hammer, and I made them nice and crunchy. And I topped my ahi tuna with the crushed peanuts and serve it on top of a bowl of rice. I can die after that.
Absolutely. Well, it works well. I mean, this is obviously, you know.
I know the traditional now. The good thing is it's the size of the tuna, the size of the fish. It has to be not too small, not too big. The beautiful thing about the ahi is it has to have texture. So you want to have something that is cut no less than a half an inch. Let it sit on your flavorings for at least 5 to 10 minutes and then enjoy. And this one is as simple as sushi rice on the bottom, seaweed salad, avocados, and carrots.
I love a good seaweed salad.
Good. And don't read the ingredients.
No, I won't, but it's still good.
Now, one thing that I also like to add to my poke is now we're moving into fermented everything. But I love kimchi. You know what kimchi is?
I've heard of it.
Oh.
Is it fermented fish?
No, actually, it's fermented cabbage.
Oh, okay.
It's a Korean version of sauerkraut. They use Napa cabbage, they use Korean chilies, and they let it ferment, just like you would do sauerkraut, but it have a really fresh, different taste. Usually, it's always sold under refrigeration, and you can take your fish and just take some kimchi. I slice it, I chop it small, and I toss the fish into the kimchi and let it sit a little bit. Let it sit 10 minutes, better rice, and you're good to go.
Good to go.
You don't like rice? Use quinoa. You don't
Quinoa.
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 Yeah, it's a very healthy grain. Try to move away from kale. Kale, the super.
Please move away from kale.
Please, okay. Kale was good. Now let's move away from
Can
kale.
we find something cooler than kale?
Let's go back to spinach.
That works for me too.
There's nothing wrong. Another way to serve your poke. I like my salmon poke served on spinach.
Okay.
And I add radishes. I take the red radish and I cut it thin, and I take my salmon diced, and now the salmon. I don't think it goes really well with ceviche, but I think it goes fantastic with the poke.
See, poke seems to me like it's the fattier fish's version of ceviche.
Correct. Like if you can make poke with sole, but it won't be the same because sole is very lean.
Right.
So when you bite into it that has not been marinated, especially if you cut sole in a 1/2 inch cube, it's very lean.
Right.
So there's not that intramuscular fat that's going to make it soft and melt in your mouth.
Right.
Like salmon, really good salmon, not the farm one, that has a beautiful intermuscular fat. Even if you cut it in a 1/2 inch cube, as soon as you hit your mouth, the fat is going to start melting, and that's why you get that deliciousness. Same as the tuna. And if you take the belly part of the tuna, the one that is fattier, just like we are. At least me.
Wait, did you say we? Hang on.
I'm sorry, like me. I don't know how you keep it safe.
I thought, ladies and gentlemen, I thought he said we, and I was like,
No,
wait a
okay,
minute.
fine.
What we, Kimo-sabe?
Oh, excuse me, I won't include you into it. I'm sorry, I'm surrounded with food the whole day. I'm the one that gained 12
I
pounds,
can't help
not
but
you.
to eat.
Well, I have to try
You
stuff.
have to try your,
I have to try all what the students
Which is
make.
really interesting because if you ever watch Chef Carlo and Chef Don, it's almost like they don't eat. When was the last time you had a full meal? You guys kind of eat throughout the day as your students are cooking.
Like sitting down and having a full meal?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Yeah, so it's like they eat a little bit of
Sunday.
this, a little bit of that. So even when we're doing the vignettes, you were doing it's like you're tasting this, tasting that.
Because you spend the whole day tasting,
Sure.
tasting. That's why I have to jog 3 miles a day. Otherwise, I'll be like Kool-Aid man, the Kool-Aid chef. I won't be able to walk through a door. I have to bust through a wall. It's like, oh, yeah, Chef Carlo's here. They'd be like, bricks flying all over the place. Oh, Chef Carlo's here.
You have to get your own. You need your own catchphrase. You can't say, "Oh yeah." You have to have a good.
That's
catchphrase.
why I didn't use oh yeah. Oh, Chef Carlo's here.
Say something in Italian. Yeah.
Hey, it's pokey time.
It's pokey time.
It's pokey time. Back to pokey. We're having way too much fun here.
That's fine.
But we're having way too much fun. But back to pokey. For the pokey, I believe you have to have the fattier fish. Gotta have your salmon. Can you make pokey with shrimp?
Sure.
Sure. Cook shrimp, toss it, and some flavorful dressing.
Notice the word he used. Cook shrimp.
Yeah, not raw.
Because unlike ceviche, poke, we're not dropping it in an acid. So.
No. Now, shrimp, yes, you can eat raw shrimp. Shrimp, again, it's really lean. You can take a raw shrimp and eat it, but it's gonna have the crunchy, exploding texture in your mouth. Not that many people like that one. That's why shrimp goes excellent in ceviche. It becomes soft and very palatable. But again, the fattier fish are the ones that are excellent for poke. Salmon, tuna. What about lobster? Gotta cook it.
Well, I was gonna say lobster is not that fatty either.
It's not that fatty,
yeah.
but if you take your lobster and you poach it in butter. How do we do that? Very simple. Take your lobster, cut it through the head so the animal can die right away. Take all the meat out. Take a pound of butter, put it on the stove, bring it to a boil. The butter's gonna start melting. Add all your lobster in there and let it simmer for 30 minutes, and then retrieve your lobster that's being poached in butter. And I mean,
I could die and go to heaven right now.
it will not make. Unfortunately, with me, will not make it to the bowl.
No. I don't think it'd make it 30 minutes with me. I was like, let's see if this is done.
But you can. I would for the lobster. I would serve it. I love radishes because radishes have the spiciness in it and has that crunch, and it has a little bit of an acidity there. It's very, very, very faint hit, but it has a nice crunch, and it has the spiciness that I like. You can also use jicama. Jicama is a root vegetable that has also a nice crunch. It gives a nice crunch to it.
What family is a jicama?
It's a tuber.
Okay.
It's a tuber, and it's just we use it as a it's a veg, but it doesn't have enough starch to be called a starchy vegetable. Right. It's a underground veg. It's
relative of the rutabaga, or
it's between the flavor is almost non-existent. It's almost like it's almost like a mild pear.
Oh, interesting.
Imagine the texture of a potato, very watery but crunchy, with a mild flavor of a pear.
Wow.
Very mild flavor.
We'll have to try that. I've never had one.
It gives nice crunch to anything you add. There are some people that deep fry it, they make chips. Vegans, they use the jicama they slice it through the mandolin to make it very thin, and they use it to substitute for taco shells.
That makes sense.
And if you really go raw vegan, once they cut it very thin, they use it to make vegan ravioli.
Okay.
Vegan raw ravioli, they as it comes out sliced, you put the filling in the center and then you fold it, and the starch will kind of reseal itself, so it serves as a raw ravioli.
Interesting.
Which for an Italian chef, that's like, sure, I'll try it. Delicious.
But I'm not putting it on the menu.
Well, okay, listen, if you have a vegan restaurant, that's fantastic. But let's talk about some poke tips.
Aha.
Talk to your fishmonger, which is a fancy word for the fishman. There's going to be places in town. Unfortunately, in Rocky Mountain, we do not have a good fish market. There's a couple of them in Raleigh, and you can talk to them, and they will tell you what's the freshest catch they have to make your poke.
Right.
You don't have a fishmonger? No problem. Frozen section, tuna, can't go wrong.
Right.
It's the freshest fish you're going to find even in the mountains. Experiment with different fish.
We've been talking about that, yeah.
You can use anything you want. Any fish will do poke. Again, I tend more to the fattier fishes because when you bite into them, the warmth of your body will start melting the fat and making it tender. Keep the fish cold.
Once again, just like ceviche.
Don't let it sit. After you toss it in your flavorful dressing, put them in the fridge. 5-10 minutes to get the flavor, and then pull them out and serve it.
And keep all the nasty bacteria off your raw fish.
There you go. Cube with care. There's difference between going like this and going like this. There is a difference.
She's not watching, but it's like my wife. And I was like, "This, you are not Emerald Lagasse, man. Just
Why?
Just
Is that?
nice and
But
chill."
is that repressed anger or what?
Maybe.
It's like, give it a drink.
Yeah.
And then put it to cut the fish. It's like, hey, now it's more beautiful.
That's right. Repressed anger. Yes.
Season to taste. What that means to your taste. There is beautiful recipes and guides. There is my favorite magazine again to get your recipes, Bon Appetito Fruit and Wine. They have beautiful guides, and we're going to include on the Facebook page the how to build a poke bowl guide. It gives you not only the tips, but it's very simple. Choose adds in carefully. Make sure that what you add in there makes sense. Don't add chewing gum to your poke.
There's certain things that just don't go well, and chewing gum is one of them.
Oh, but I'm gonna get like some candy and crush and put on top of the salmon. It might work with bacon, but not with fish.
And see, once again, we come back to the fact that there is nothing that goes wrong with bacon.
And choose, very important, choose your soy sauce properly.
Right.
There is, I'm lucky enough, I live next to 3 Asian markets, and the soy sauce selection is expensive. And I tend to choose this soy sauce that has been barrel aged for 1 year. The flavor is fantastic. And trust me, there's cheap soy sauce, there's good soy sauce, and there's excellent soy sauce. So if you, how do you know that? Well, if you're gonna buy a bottle of soy sauce that is 99 cents, it's the cheap kind. If you're gonna buy a bottle of soy sauce at about $4 or $5, you're going into something that is being brewed, not some liquid that they add hydrolyzed protein, fake soy sauce, and they make soy sauce. It takes time to make soy sauce. You have to ferment the soybeans, and then you have to ferment the soybeans and then extract the soy sauce off them by marinating them. So it's not something like that. Choose a good soy sauce.
Especially if you're going to go through the effort of making a poke.
Which you're using nice, not very cheap fish.
Yeah. Put the good soy sauce on.
Put the good soy sauce.
Yeah, not the green bottle stuff from that place down the road. Bad
Nah. Don't dress your fish until right before you serve it.
Good tip.
Gotta dress it, but don't let it sit hours because then it will turn into
Mush.
mush, or ceviche if you let it go for 45 minutes.
That's true, because the soy sauce does have a little bit of acidity
Dre-
in it. So.
Dress it right before, I would say 5 minutes on your flavorful dressing, and it's good to go. Look at this beautiful thing.
Yep.
Oh, wait.
There it is. It's on your screen. It's not on our screen.
Okay.
But it is beautiful.
And the last tip, when
Oh,
you're
there
when
it
you're
is.
mixing your, the most important tip that I can give you, as you're mixing your poke to get all the dressing in there, do it carefully. It's not meatloaf. You're not gonna get in there and just start squeezing the stuff around and putting pressure. No.
Is that your? That's a good Marlon Brando impression.
You take the fish and you press it like that, and it's not the meatloaf. Is it the poke? And the poke is very delicate fish. Use your hands.
Yeah.
Don't you want to? Oh, but I'm touching raw fish. Gloves. But I don't have gloves. Take 2 spoons and delicately
Like
toss
tossing
your
a
fish.
salad, yeah.
Like tossing a salad. Even more delicate than tossing a salad, because you have to preserve. This is very delicate fish. You have to preserve all the shape in there. And toppings, scallions will do it, sesame seeds. So, how are we doing with time?
We've got about it's about time.
It's about time?
It's about time.
Very simple. Base for your poke. It could be brown rice, jasmine rice, soba noodles, any kind of leafy green will do as your base for your poke. Even sushi rice, nice and sticky. Your protein, it could be ahi tuna, fluke, hamachi, salmon, tofu. No, let me skip that one.
Yeah.
No, sorry.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I apologize. I
It's
apologize.
okay.
I
It's okay.
apologize.
It's okay.
I didn't read. See, let me take the tofu and scratch it. Shrimp. Here you go. No tofu.
Scratched your tofu.
Scratch stuff.
Because you kind of destroyed the entire.
I'm sorry.
No,
I got
I'm just
excited. I
saying,
started
If
reading.
you're adding tofu to your poke, it's not really poke. It's just a bowl of tofu and stuff.
Sorry. Tofu. Scratch the tofu. Dressing. Plain excellent soy sauce. You can do a ponzu sauce, which is soy sauce with additional citrus juice. You can do a honey gochujang dressing, which is a honey soy sauce spicy pepper dressing. You can make a lemon chile soy sauce. You can make a spicy black bean shoyu sauce. Any kind of good flavor. Remember, the fish is not seasoned. You have to season it. And then the fun stuff. You can add fruits and veggies, nuts, seeds, spices. In my opinion, you gotta have a dose of heat.
And we're gonna put this. We'll put this on the Facebook page as soon as the show's over, so you guys can go take a look.
Scallions, thinly sliced sweet onions, garlic chips, fried shallots, garlic chives, chives. Any kind of topping will go well. You can add pickled ginger. You can add pickled shiitake mushrooms. You can add kimchi. You can add pickled cucumbers. You can just add fresh cucumbers. And if you want to go into fresh herbs, I think my favorite herb for the poke is going to be cilantro. But you can go as far as chives. You can go crazy and add mint.
Go for it.
You can do a yogurt soy sauce dressing for your poke, and then serve it with mint. Mint and yogurt goes excellent. Mint is just for mojitos.
There you go. Well, thank you for joining us once again, talking food. We were out of time, and today was Ceviche and Poke. Check us out every Tuesday at 10 o'clock on Facebook, YouTube, around campus, and of course on Big Bang Radio 89.1. So next week we're doing pasta.
And thank you for watching. And remember, you still have time to do this for tonight to impress your sweetie.
Go for it.
Have a good night.
time.
Bye.